Well, hi everybody. How are you guys? Good to have you here. Tamara, send it in. I can do it. I saw that. Send it, send it. Yes, yes. Let's see. That's right. And this right. Okay, got everything right. Oh, that's not right. Move my camera around. What happened there? Oh well. Look it up. And how is everybody tonight? There we go. Oh well, do that. So, how you doing? Is everybody having a good night? I hope you are. Welcome to Story and Art. Hey, say, tonight we're going to just read, I'm going to read a little bit more, one or two more. He's got one last long story about the polar bears. I'm going to read that one. And I'm going to show some sketchbook stuff. I found a book called Gold by David Shannon, you know, the one who did The Bad Case of Stripes and No David. So I thought that would be funny. It's a good laugh one. And then there's a book called Snow Tree that I read before once, and it's all about different colors in winter and stuff and where they go and how they come about. And I thought that would be fun and in between sharing sketchbooks and stuff. But let's check in. Yay, Tamara's going to send it in. Linda's here. Good. Thanks for being here. And Tamara. And Mona's here. Hi, Art Flow by Mo. Mona's here. Yay. Good to have you here. All right, you guys. It's nice to have you here. So I think, so I have this stack sitting here next to me of sketchbooks. And I thought, it was one of the things I said I was going to do was go through some kind of the things that over the year that you guys got me and encouraged me to do and kind of the results of it. So it's kind of crazy, this huge stack of sketchbooks. And so that was what the opening video was about. It was actually a time where I sat down and just had been drawing little gnomes because I've been doing those since November, except when Layla was here, and I never kind of stopped and had all kinds of crazy things. But what was crazy was the wonky donkey stories. Oh. For you to be there on Saturday. Oh, the wonky donkey. I have to find the wonky donkey stories again. Oh, that would be great. What a good idea, Linda. Yay, that's a good idea. I should read Wonky Donkey on Saturday on Doris's. That would be fun. So anyway, I thought I'd start with, I have this stack, and I think that goes, well, I have this, well, I'm going to show you this stack first off, because it's pretty darn funny. Yes, let's see. Where am I? I move things around. There we go. There we go. So here's this stack. Okay, there's sketchbooks. There's all kinds of stuff, and that's for somebody who never even owned a sketchbook a year ago. You know, this is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna add I want to do something. New camera overlay, and I want a little bit of this. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. I just wanted it in a circle. A little circle one. So I can talk to you while I'm showing you this. There we go. I'll put that over there. Okay, so this is my newest one. I'm going to go backwards kind of and show you some things. But so one of the things that I had done was I had actually made a sketchbook of keeping it real sketches and projects that I did as assignments for there, because we did some art assignments. And so my sketchbooks are never right side up. It doesn't really matter. But this was one, I had read a story from a book called Black Crow of some poems. And I had gotten this idea I think it was to copy some of the photos that I had and did. And I had different kind of stuff. So this was my Black Crow. And then I did a story on different kind of art, and I did a lesson where I used to do this with my first graders. It was a line drawing lessons, but it was based on teaching them about Piet Mondrian. And then I gave everybody that was on the live that night, had them get a piece of paper, and then I gave them a set of instructions, and everybody followed it and then did it their own way and had different things. So this was mine. We did how to draw a koala one night. This was from the book, The Catalog, the Catalog, and how he did with little squares and type of things, and doing this storyboarding kind of thing, and the mountains. So I was just getting some ideas. This was a drawing without looking at the paper kind of things, where you looked at an image. So this is my sisters and I on the beach. There's Carolyn. There's Patty. There's me. And there's Sarah right there. Yeah. So it was one of those things where you could look at the image you were copying, but you couldn't look at your paper. And it was a lot of fun to do. So by February, I was doing horses and different kind of animals and things. And I did a dragon drawing one night, how to draw dragons. And then I did drawing on the right side of the brain with everybody, when I had everybody draw upside down. So it's kind of fun to go through this, because I've gone from a year ago at this time, like when I started in November beforehand, I had never drawn anything. This is a copy off of one of my photographs. This is a copy on one of my photographs where I just started sketching things that I saw in my own photographs. A squirrel, a bee that was out in our yard. And then these from Louise Loves Art, the book. And we did how to draw the cat in Louise Loves Arts. For a while there, we did some neurographic work, and I got into neurographic, which was fun. Layla and I did a thing one night. We had people drawing cows, cowabunga, and we did a Dr. Seuss night. So I have all of this stuff in here. Let's see. There's the cow. Layla was having one way to draw a cow, and I was having other ways. Cowabunga, more neurographic. We were drawing faces. I was teaching her, and then different leprechaun. That was, okay, so we're at St. Patty's Day now. And with a leprechaun mouse, or dog, leprechaun chihuahua, that's right. Sketchbooks, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss. This is from a book by Bill Peet. Yeah, and it's about a goat that his horns grow really too long. I can't remember the name of the book now. And more leprechaun drawing. There's a guy on YouTube. He draws with his kids, and is on YouTube for kids, and he has some great things. This was drawing a shelf, real life kind of stuff. And these were things that I had never, ever tried to do. Would have never thought I could do. Before, after, coffee cup. This was stuff you see in the morning kind of, and things. From Jim Field's Quentin, from a book that we read, Roscoe, and the Disney art. I did that. This was another, cow without looking. We were drawing sketches and cows. Oh, and I did Rory from a bath time photo. My granddaughter. All kinds of fun, crazy things. And then I got into some pastels and things. And so that was my kind of working sketchbook, the first one. Oops, where did I lose people? Oh, there. Hi there, Fatima's here, Traveler, yay! So, and Angela Stasaka, affiliated with Pluxa Gallery. Hi there. Welcome. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So, new people that are here, welcome them. You guys, this is awesome to have you here. So, here's the thing. And I'm telling everybody this. I told them I would go through some of these because when I started doing this live nightly that I started in November of 2021, and going every night, I was reading stories or showing some of my photographs and stuff, and I wasn't doing any, but I was talking about the artists, and then I would show them things that I had done when I taught school, and how to do some of the stuff I did with little kids. Like this was a whole section on them of things that I did with my kindergarten, first and second graders. It's done with salt and glue and squeezing things and the different kind of artwork and inks and the symmetry type stuff. That's what all these were. So I was having people doing those, and I was showing those kind of art as well as reading the story. And along the way, I picked up a sketchbook and started to try to do stuff. And the whole thing about it is this was a photograph that I took in Yellowstone, and then I translated it into a drawing, which I never would have done a year ago. And it's just this kind of become this fun kind of crazy thing. This Diana Anton studio, she did a paint a bird a day. I was having too much fun with that. And I did a thing with people on live one night where we did different kind of lettering and how you embellish them. I used to do that with the kids at school all the time. And we did the bee. This is the bird that's done with the numbers. Like here, it's number, you can see it. You go 1, 2. Oh, you can't see there. Yeah. And then 3, 4, 5. You have 2 5s, and then you have a 6, and then you have a 2 7s. Yeah. And you get it up with a bird. It's kind of fun. So that was a whole different kind of thing that we did, and crazy things that I got from different ideas of people on YouTube, wild birds. And then before I went to Africa that whole summer, I got into drawing African animals and stuff. And then my granddaughter would come along and teach people how to do stuff. So I guess my whole moral with doing this is that I am totally amazed that I even attempted some of this, and let alone kept it. I understand now why people keep sketchbooks, because it gives you a chance to go back and see all kinds of stuff. This was from a photograph that I took off my deck out, and I used different kind of things to that. Here's the Diana Anton, her tutorial on birds, and all these kind of goofy kind of birds. I loved these. These were so much fun to do. And then this was another one of my photographs that I changed. This too kind of took, this is from 17 Kings and 42 Elephants, the book. I had that 17 kings and 42 elephants went for a ride on a wild, wet night. Baggy ears like big umbrella fence. Little eyes a-gleaming in the jungle light. There I remembered. So anyway, it's gone on. I did this for my hairdresser while she was doing my hair. Her name's Angel. So there's little angels all over it, and I ended up doing a final one for her for Christmas. And then I did so many gnomes that this was, you saw kind of in the opening, my gnome trees. And then this was one that I had in the opening sequence, and it was just this cool kind of, it just sat one night and drew gnomes. Couldn't draw them in beginning of November. They were pretty bad. But that's what that is all about. It means that I now paint using the right side of the brain for art and left side for science. 43 years in the medical. Yeah, the drawing on the right side of the brain that I did that lesson with everybody was completely blown away because it's something that I used to do with kindergarten and first and second grades, and the kids would just be astounded what they could do, and it's a whole lot of fun. So here's another one. This one was starting to do whimsical animals. This was by August. This is getting ready to go. The third try on this trio: the elephant, the hippo, and the giraffe. And then on this leopard that came from a friend's photography book, and I was practicing with that. Again, this has washi tape around the edge. Got into watercolor, got into doing goofy birds. These had so much fun. And this is a gal, what is her name? Oh, anyway, I think it's called Whimsical Art. I mean, is that her name on YouTube? And she just started with a triangle. And from this one idea for this rabbit that she kind of showed how to do, I went from there to mice and cats and penguins and 2 different kinds of fox, and I turned the triangle on the side for a seal, my chickens, and then the cormorants that are out front at our place. These 2 were pretty bad, but the bears, you know how I love bears and bees. And there's another fox. I had more bears. Bears, birds, and quail. My sister loves quail, so I was doing those for her. Ostrich from that I saw in Africa. And then Diane Anton also did these whimsical houses and stuff. I think it was Diane. But I just had some fun. That's what this little one was all about. And then we started. Oh, there's Aldo. I tried to draw my dog. That was pretty first attempt. And then I started with gnomes. I have an angel gnome. I have gnomes, and the gnomes went on and on. Can't see him very well, can you? I just started painting some of them, and I sketched them. I kind of like them sometimes. Then I got some chalk, and I did ink and different kind of things. Layla and I had a good time. I was down and saw that with my granddaughter. So she's doing a whole coloring book on gnomes. So those are those. I'm going to read again, upper a little bit here, because it's time to go back to story time. So if you're just joining, we've been reading a book called Letters to St. Nicholas by J.R.R. Tolkien. And, oh, there it is. So Tolkien, over his lifetime, for 20 years, he wrote letters at Christmas time to his own children as St. Nicholas. And they're very elaborate and they're very beautiful. And he had a whole story. So not only did he just talk about what they were getting or coming to their house, but he described his home and who worked with him. And the great polar bear is his assistant. And then in the last letter, one of the last letters, the great polar bear had been gotten lost in the goblin caves, or actually it was in another, it was in the cave bear's caves, but the goblins had gotten in and figured out how to get stuff from the workshop and all this kind of stuff. And there's this whole other part. And Tolkien would write these beautiful calligraphy, and then he would also draw pictures to go with them. So we're up to 1933, and I'm only going to read a couple more in this, but this is kind of a long one that he did, and it is quite an adventure story, again, with the great polar bear. And was that one? This one? Hang on, maybe I didn't go back. Oh, here it is. I'm not back quite. Yes. Is this it? Yes, here I am. So this is where it's kind of a long story. And then I'm going to try to pull in Tamara's picture, what she's done. And if anybody else has sent something in, I'll pull up my email and we'll bring in your artwork and we'll see what else we can do. And then I've got another book called The Snow Tree that I want to read, and maybe read Gold too. We'll just read this one. This one is pretty funny with Tolkien. Let me get you to the right. There we go. Oops. There we go. Yay. Went to the right one. My dears, another Christmas, and I almost thought at one time in November that there would not be one this year. There would, of course, be the 25th of December, of course, but nothing from your old great, etc. grandfather of the North Pole. Goblins, the worst attack we've had for centuries. They have been fearfully wild and angry ever since we took all their stolen toys off of them last year and dosed them with green smoke. You remember the red gnomes promised to clear all of them out? There was not one to be found in any hole or cave by New Year's Day. But I said they would crop up again in a century or so. Just a sec. I need to... There we go. In a century or so. But where did I go? They have not waited so long. They must have gathered their nasty friends from mountains all over the world and been busy all summer while we were in our sleepiest. This time we had very little warning. Soon after All Saints' Day, Polar Bear got very restless. He now says he smelt nasty smells, but as usual he did not say anything. He says he did not want to trouble me. He really is a nice old thing, and this time he absolutely saved Christmas. He took to sleeping in the kitchen with his nose toward the cellar door, opening on the main stairway down to my big stores. One night, just about Christopher's birthday, I woke up suddenly. There was squeaking and sputtering in the room and a nasty smell in my own best green and purple room that I had just had done up most beautifully. I caught sight of a wicked little face at the window. Then I really was upset, for my window was high up above the cliff, and that meant there were bat-riding goblins. Tolkien, bat-riding goblins. Yes, about which we haven't seen since the Goblin War in 1453 that I told you about. Let me get to the next page. I was only just quite awake when a terrific din began far downstairs in the store cellars. It would take too long to describe, so I have tried to draw a picture of what I saw when I got down after treading on a goblin on the mat. Only there was more than 1,000 goblins than 15. So that's dark. And the capitals, for those of you who knew, when that kind of square letters is when the polar bear starts talking. But you could hardly expect me to draw 1,000. Polar Bear was squeezing and squashing and trampling and boxing and kicking goblins sky high and roaring like a zoo, and the goblins were yelling like engine whistles. He was splendid. Say no more. I enjoy immensely. Well, it is a long story. The trouble lasted for over a fortnight. Again, a fortnight, you guys. Somebody's got to tell me what a fortnight is, please. I don't know. I can never remember. And it began to look as if I should never be able to get my sleigh out this year. The goblins had set part of the stores on fire and captured several gnomes, who sleep down there on guard, before Polar Bear and some more gnomes came in and killed 100 before I arrived. Even when we had put the fire out and cleared the cellars and house, I can't think what they were doing in my room unless they were trying to set fire to my bed. The trouble went on. The ground was black with goblins under the moon when we looked out, and they had broken up my stables and gone off with the reindeer. Oh, I had to blow my golden trumpet, which I have not done for many years, to summon all my friends. There were several battles. Every night they used to attack and set fire in the stores before we got the upper hand, and I'm afraid quite a lot of my dear elves got hurt. Fortunately, we have not lost much except my best string, gold and silver, and packing papers and holly boxes. I am very short of these, and I have been very short of messengers. Lots of my people are still away. I hope they will come back safe, chasing the goblins out of my land, those that are left alive. They have rescued all my reindeers. We are quite happy and settled again now, and I feel much safer. It really will be centuries before we get another goblin trouble. Thanks to Polar Bear and the gnomes, there can't be very many left at all. And Father Christmas, I wish I could draw or had time to try. You have no idea what this old man can do. Lighting then fireworks and thunder of guns. Polar Bear certainly has been busy helping and double help, but he has mixed up some of the girls' things with the boys' things in his hurry. We hope we have got all sorted out, but if you hear of anyone getting a doll when they wanted an engine, you will know why. Actually, Polar Bear tells me I am wrong. We did lose a lot of railway stuff. Goblins always go for that. And what we got back was damaged and will have to be repainted. It will be a busy summer next year. Now, a Merry Christmas to all once again. I hope you will all have a very happy time. I'm going to get to the picture so you can look at while I... There we go. Go. Come on, there it is. And we'll find that you have taken notice of your letters and sent you what you wanted. I don't think my pictures are very good this year, though I took quite a time over them, at least 2 minutes. Polar Bear says, I don't see that a lot of stars and pictures of goblins in your bedrooms are so frightfully merry. Still, I hope you won't mind. It is rather good of Polar Bear kicking, really. Anyway, I send lots of love. Yours ever and annually, Father Nicholas Christmas. And there is one of his drawings that he did. That was Christmas 1933. So he shows the Goblin War, the fight, and that his purple and green room that he did. That Father St. Nicholas had done. Father Christmas FC, he oftentimes does that in the pictures. So this was, it was quite the, come on, go to the next one. That one was just done to Christopher. Thank you, I'm awake and have been for a long while, but not, so a shorter letter to Christopher. And then some more, a beautiful Christmas tree that he had done of them. It's just fascinating to see this. The book is easily, oftentimes you can, if you have Libby on your phone or on Kindle, you can get the book pretty easily through your library. You can just connect if you download the Libby app or Overdrive, sometimes it's called, and you can connect your library card to that service, and then you can check out from your local library. And it's oftentimes easy to find in your local libraries. In this, also it was available, I think, on Kindle and stuff if you wanted that type of thing. But I am going to now show. Was it this one? Okay, let's see if I can find. Go back to here. There. Oops, that's not. I'm going to go back to here. There we go. And check in on the chat. See what are you going. Voice for the soul. Yes, it is. These pieces are. Oh. I did it. Sorry, Gretchen. What did you do? Hey, Julia's here. Art by Julia. Creative Roads art by Julia Lee. Yay, Julia. I'm glad you made it. Hey, Lupe, if you're hiding in the background, hi. I know you often times are. Ah, yes. Checking in. Tamara, I hope this artwork I just sent Gretchen does not creep anyone out too much. They are different. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you here. I just put what I've just done on eCam here. I put it in preview mode so you don't have to watch me go hunt in my email. And it still looks like that you're just talking to me here. But, oh, I know what I'll do instead. Oh, that'll be better. Because here, I'll go to this. Yeah. And then I can show you these while I'm finding that. Back to live mode. Here we go. And okay. So now here are some of these. And while I'm got you guys in preview mode there, I can find Linda's email. Cool. So this is from my sketchbook, and a lot of these are different things of. So this is when I got into of doing my photographs. These were a couple different versions of a photograph that I took. It's actually hanging here in my studio. It's at Zabriskie Point, and there it is. At Zabriskie Point in Death Valley. So the first one I did with just a gold pencil, trying to idea, and then what if I did it with like a watercolor pencil? So I did it again. This is a bear that I took in a photo of an Alaska brown bear that I took in Katmai in 2015 on my trip up there, and then I tried to make her into one. This is the lone tree that's down at the bottom of our little community park. That poor thing is still there. Another just kind of things. Here's that Zabriskie Point again in a different kind of stuff. So this was another thing about doing this journey with you guys. It gave me some courage to try things in some completely different ways. Between you guys and my Tarts group, True Art Resonates Through Sisterhood, that I meet with, who are all doing it really kind of got me to branch out a little bit and to think that maybe I could have some fun doing this. And it's not my photography, it's not my main area of art, but boy, it helps my creativity. This is from Yellowstone. Yeah, that's from Yellowstone. And another in different things. Yeah. Upper Geyser Basin Boardwalk, Firehole River. Both, that's where this is. So I would kind of put down what it was. I did these in June. Tried different mediums with them. This is also at Yellowstone. And then just trying different things. I got some of these shiny kind of watercolors. I still like them. This was dropping the water on and letting it melt around and see what happens. This was, again, the crazy birds we were doing. And I did, like, dragonfly people. I was having fun with those. Oh, a dragon. A dragon looking at you there. Goofy cat. More birds. More dragonflies. The owl. Yeah. So those were kind of fun. Again, I just grabbed all kinds of different kind of things. Some of the things when I got some, I found that sometimes that working in smaller pieces, smaller pages, doesn't intimidate me quite so much. My big sketchbook is over there, and I use page after page of it. And then this is the most recent one, which is interesting because it's hard press paper, or it's hot press, and it doesn't. So I was still working on gnomes, and I was trying to come up with doing a goat gnome, and then I wanted to do a girl gnome, and I couldn't figure out how to do that. Took me a while, and these were Graphic Rivernet. She's on YouTube. This one looks like he has to go to the bathroom. Some more gnomes. And then these were the ones I drew on the plane heading to Phoenix this last trip. And a tree gnome. This is a reindeer antler gnome. I love this is one I'm kind of actually very pleased about. Can you see? Is it too bright? Why is the light so bright? Let's see. Why is it looking so bright? There you go. Light was too bright. There you go. And then, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. Since it's gnome season is kind of done, at least Christmas gnomes. What do I do next? Angels. So we did angels. And then Layla and I saw this person that this was Aver Media Arts and Crafts. This is just done with a teardrop shape. It was so much fun to do, but Layla and I laughed our heads off because we just got, the lady has an interesting accent. It was Scandinavian accent, reminded me of my grandfather, and it was just, I laughed hysterically. And all these little things that you could do in the shape of just a teardrop and how you could change them. Started bears again. And then candle. I mean, I don't know why. Oh, this is a copy, kind of trying to copy the carving that we bought in Oaxaca. That was not so great. Snowman. And the next thing I'm going to try is probably going to be Zen Doodle. I saw some things on it last night, and I thought it looked like really fun. So by the way, I'm going to come back tomorrow night, you guys, and read again. I'm kind of liking doing like 2 or 3 nights in a row. It makes me feel good to do 2 or 3 nights in a row. And so I'm going to come back tomorrow night and read again. But tonight I'm going to go back to, where's that book? I want to read to you a funny book. It's called Gold. And it has nothing to do with the holidays, but it's by our favorite David Shannon, So David Shannon wrote those books. He wrote No David, which is a book that he says is basically an autobiography. It's about a little kid when they're 5 and running down the street and doing all these things that they're not supposed to do. And reading it to kindergartners was always just hilarious because there's one spot where he's running down the street naked and you see just the bare butt. Seriously, it's one of those books that has made it to banned book lists in places simply because of that. It's the most cutest caricature, but yeah, that's another ridiculous thing. But David Shannon is hilarious. He did The Bad Case of Stripes and No David and all those other ones that, I mean, I've read some, but he's the author and illustrator. He's brilliant. This book is called Gold, and think in terms of King Midas, and I think you'll kind of get it. Gold by David Shannon. Look at that. I have to make my picture, my own self. Hang on, I gotta make mine smaller. So, oh, not that. There. I have to make this smaller. Why won't it come up forward? Bring to the front, and then there we go. Here we go. Put myself down here. Smaller. Get out of your way. So this is called Gold by David Shannon. Oh, hold it. You are still in pictures. There we go. Ha! There we go. I forgot to switch you back. When I did the apples with left. Okay, here we go. Before we do the story, I have one other thing to do first. Back here, I forgot. I'm going to go to here. All right, here we go. Whoops. And no, I'm gonna. Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to do a blank source. There we go. Ah, there. There's one of them. This is one of Tamara's pictures. I knew I forgot. I got babbling, and I was babbling. There we go. So Tamara says, these are still a work in progress. So there's one of them. Oh my gosh. Here comes the other one. Another one. Make my picture much smaller. There. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are Tamara's 2 works in progress. Oh, you guys, look at these. Okay, the hand and face and the moon and everything is just amazing. Oh, there's the face in this one on the left. So one of the things I always really appreciate about Tamara's work, I'm going to get it a little bigger here, is when I see them, my first reaction is always just a gasp because they're so glorious, the first impression. But then when you look at them further, you see so much. And there's so much story being told in each little element. So much is added to the story. They're just beautiful. The face here looks like a child almost here. Oh. Tamara, I swear, if I could pick myself up and get to Australia tomorrow and swipe your things and take them to a gallery and say, look at these, look at this person who is in your backyard. You need to show her stuff right now. Yes, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. So, if at some point you discover your stuff has all been scooped up by somebody and shows up in a gallery, you'll know I dropped in. Oh, I wish. Gosh. Yeah. Left, not left. Good. I'm just, Angela, I'm so glad you're here and that you're just, I literally didn't, I didn't do any art when I taught kindergarten, first, second, and third grade when I was in the classroom. And then I was a K-5 librarian, and I would do anything with artwork and stuff like that. We would do projects all the time. Whatever kind of materials and stuff we had, I would make up something and we would try it. It was just a living, breathing experiment all the time in my classroom. And then in the library, it was always about something about the book. And then at the end of the year, we always did, well, we also did 28 days to make, 28 days to create, which is where there was a challenge every day. And it was one of those warm-up kind of things. And I wasn't going to make the kids do it without me doing it too. But it's always been kind of fun. 4 years ago, so much fun. Yes. Oh, we're glad you came. I am so glad to have people. There's Larry. Yay. Hi, Larry. Get some rest. Oh, Angela, have to go back to bed. COVID sucks. It does. And long COVID stuff, too, is hitting a lot of people. Lindsay, Fatima is here. Yay. 2 minutes. I've not eaten since 5 a.m. Oh, my gosh. Okay. It's 7:21. So I am going to do this book real quick on King Midas. Well, not King Midas, but late. So at least you get a story, you guys. And Cats and Dragonflies, awesome. Phoenix, place of my birth. Yay! The nymphs hatch out of the water, yes. Zen doodles are fun. My double vision has an interesting time with it. Oh, wow. That would be cool. I bet it would be cool. Sometimes that out of focus stuff is so, hey, you're right up there with Monet, That was this fantastic. Tamara, I know. Aren't they just gorgeous? So, okay, let's go to story time. There we go. Now, back again to Gold. Gold by David Shannon. Yeah. Maximilian Midas was a peculiar little boy. He didn't much like chocolate, and he didn't play with toys. The first word that he uttered when he was 1 year old wasn't Mama, wasn't Papa. What Maxie said was, "Gold!" Uh-oh. I gotta make this just a little smaller if I can. Aha. Can I make it a little smaller? That's right. I gotta make my overlay a little smaller so I can see all the words. Hang on, you guys. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yes. His parents had tried to raise him right. They said, "Be kind, not cruel." But Max's brain got stuck on gold when they taught the golden rule. His mother hugged him every night. His father read him stories. "A hug's a hug," Maxie shrugged, "and all those books are boring." He didn't like to go to school. He cheated on his tests and counted up his golden stars. There were 50 more or less. But Maximilian had the touch for raking in the dough. He didn't think of bad or good. He thought of bought and sold. He started selling lemonade out on the parking strip, and on the hottest, driest days, he sold it by the sip. He made enough to buy a house. 'Twas money quite well spent, but when his parents moved inside, he charged them monthly rent. When Sadie opened up a stand to help some needy kids, He dropped a mouse in her lemonade, then ran away and hid. Max took over Sadie's stand, but he had larger plans, and soon his lemonade was sold in stores throughout the land. His lemonade made millions, more than 20 banks could hold. He never gave a cent away. He spent it all on gold. Maxie piled up his gold until it made a mountain. On top, he built a castle with a fancy golden fountain. His furniture and walls were gold. To Max, it looked like heaven. A lot of people said, not bad for a kid who's only 7. As time went by, Maxie stayed inside and all alone got older. His outlook didn't change a bit. In fact, it just got golder. Gold is what I love the most, Maxie would often cry. I love it more than teddy bears or mother's apple pie. I wish the world was made of gold, and gold was everywhere. I'd like to eat and drink it, and... what did he say there? And breathe it in like air. That got Max to thinking. And he was making breakfast. He came up with an idea that was positively reckless. Max grabbed a bag of gold dust, and oh, for goodness sakes, he spooned it up like sugar and dumped it on his flakes. Maximilian took a bite. It made his tummy tingle. But when he chewed, it didn't crunch. Instead, it sort of jingled. He suddenly felt funny, like his blood was getting cold. He walked up to the window, then Max turned into gold. Max was like a statue. He couldn't move his arm. He couldn't even walk or talk or set off all the alarms. Max began to panic. He thought, how can this be? No one ever comes up here. What's going to rescue me? At the bottom of the mountain, he saw his mom and dad. They were talking to their neighbors, and he suddenly felt sad. He thought about the many hugs he'd traded for his gold and all the bedtime stories that never would be told. Max tried in vain to close his eyes and make it go away, but he was made of solid gold and had to watch all day. There was one thing deep inside him that hadn't turned to gold. A little tear that Max had saved since he was 1 year old. And now that he was facing a future cold and bleak, that little tear was free at last and rolling down his cheek. And as it spread across his face, what happened next was weird. Max changed back to normal, and his mountain disappeared. Every bit of gold was gone, and Max was in midair. He landed with a thud and saw his parents standing there. "I'm sorry, Mom and Dad," he cried. "My gold was just a lie." His mother hugged him twice and said, "I'm going to go bake a pie." His father hugged him too and said, "That reminds me of a story." And Maxie hung on every word. So what if it was boring? They asked the neighbors over, and Max made lemonade. He gave them each a tall, cool glass to sip on in the shade. "My gold is gone," Max told the crowd, but please don't think I'm poor. I've made millions from my lemonade, and I'll make millions more. He apologized to Sadie, the plucky neighborhood girl. Will you help me use my millions to make a better world? Then Maximilian Midas thought, as he finished off his slice, gold can never make you feel as good as being what? Nice. And that's the story of gold. Max's Lemonade by David Shannon. There we go. And get the right. So, I love the colors on the right. You did those last night, Tamara? Oh my gosh. 10:21 Eastern. Oh my gosh. Yep. Is it 10:21? 7:20. Yep. It's 9:30. Okay. Oh, maze. They thought it was too weird for some. No, your work is not weird at all. It's beautiful. Very spontaneous. Very cool. All right. Yeah, great book. I know. He is mad magazine-y. It is very. David Shannon is just fun. He's just so much fun. A fortnight is 2 weeks. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Yes, I know. Yes, I knew Linda would know. I said that last night. Linda will know. All right, you guys. Tomorrow night, I'm going to come back on tomorrow night. So I like doing this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What is it? Tomorrow's Thursday. Is today Thursday? Today's Thursday. So I'm going to come on tomorrow night because I'm not going to be on Sunday. And I just want to read. I went to the library. Actually, I went to the library. Yeah. I hadn't been for a while. Oh my gosh. I've got a bunch of books. So 2:01 p.m. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Bob's got dinner. I'm going to go eat. And thank you all for being here tonight for my little sharing of my crazy sketchbooks and what you guys have helped me do and learn to do and keep doing. I got to figure out something new because, November and gnomes are kind of done, although who knows what could be next. I don't know. I've got, there's this, I think I read this book to you guys once before called The Snow Tree. I'll show you tomorrow night because it's really I think it's going to help. I'm going to try doing some of the animals in it. And it is all about different color and stuff because realistic things are not my strong suit, but making them fun is fun to do, or making them whimsical. And I should not say it's not it's just something I haven't done doing realistic. And I'm starting in a figure drawing group in January. A bunch of people out here do a figure drawing and with live models. That'll be scary, but I'm going to try it. All right, you guys, thanks so much for being here. Love you all bunches. You are the best. It is such a delight to be here and to share the stories and to read and all that kind of stuff. So until next time, send in your work. Send in stuff for tomorrow night too. And I would love to see that. But until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around, but the first place you'll find it is in the mirror. And I'll catch you next time. Love you all. Larry, no problem.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feel
realism. Oh, Fatima, that's gonna be tough. I can do it in photography. Realism in photography is pretty easy, and I can take that into abstract. I do a lot of abstract photography.
We could be shameless, famous, running cool.
And I gotta go find Wonky Donkey because Doris wants that. That's a good story. I forgot all about Wonky Donkey.
Gorgeous, wow, ooh. You got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try. Not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the
Goodness.
boulevard.
I got Wonky Donkey.
There in the light in your eyes.
Yay!
Oh, we don't need no black cards. I just need you by my
Hey,
side.
Granny.
We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead.
Yeah, I just found Wonky Donkey. And I got the Dinky Donkey. And the Grandma Donkey is checked out. Hey, there's Lupe! Yay, I knew you were hiding! Yay!
We could be famous.
Good night!
We could be famous.
Oh, she is. What time, Mona? Mona, what time's your live tomorrow night?